Guys, welcome back to the channel. On this channel we talk about creating a budget, getting out of debt, and building wealth. Today we're going to focus on the getting out of debt section of building wealth, and particularly we're going to talk about credit cards. My take on credit cards is I love them. It is one of the easiest forms of leverage you can get. It can be kind of like a double-edged sword though. In fact, if you have no discipline, it can even take you farther into debt. But if you understand velocity banking, the power of leverage, and you have discipline, it can eliminate debt and be a great tool in your wealth building journey. But let's get back what today's video is about. So I was talking to an individual the other day who was in the getting out of debt phase. For the sake of this video, let's call him Ralph. So Ralph was frustrated and was telling me that he paid off one of his credit cards. I told him, awesome, you did a great job. And he was like, no. And I was like, well, what's wrong? And he said that after a few months he checked and he had a couple of late fees. So if you watch my video on getting out of or credit cards and the way they work, I explained to him that if you have a balance on a credit card, the month, if you're paying your credit card month to month, there's no interest or no fees that's going to be due. But if you have a balance on a credit card and then you pay that credit card off, there's going to be that interest is being charged that next month. So even though it says you have a zero balance, you have to check and make sure. That's why if you watch the videos on creating a budget, on the bills page, there's the no boxes and yes boxes that a credit card has been paid or that your bills have been paid. So if once you have bills paid off, if they're reoccurring, like a credit card or a department store card, anything, you need to leave those on there. And then you need to get in the habit of checking all of your bills every month and then checking that yes. You got to be a little bit careful when it comes to credit cards. So if you log into the credit card too early and you click yes, then that statement hasn't come out yet. You have to, even though if you log into a credit card, even though you owe zero on that credit card, it'll still have a statement date. It'll have a due date. So you have to make sure that if let's say you're in September's bills, you're in September statement, so you're paying every statement that comes out in September. You have to make sure that when you log into the credit card, depending on, because that credit card could be any day of the month that statement comes out. So when you're going through one day a week and you're checking all your bills, make sure that when you check the credit card that it actually shows due, and that due will be zero, but make sure that it is actually due in that month. And if you had a balance, if you're in this phase of getting out of debt and you had a balance on that card that wasn't paid off month to month, and when you check, if you check too early before that statement comes out, it's going to say due, it's going to say zero. And then if you check that off, let's say it's the 5th of the month and you're going through all your bills and you check yes that credit card has been paid, and then that statement comes out, say 2 or 3 days later, it's going to have a little charge on there of about $8 to $10. So just get in the habit. It's also a good idea anyway, because you never know if there's a charge ran on your card or an annual fee or something like that. So make sure that when you check the credit card, or in that fact anything that has been paid off already, that statement has already came out for that month before you check yes. Or if you really want it to be safe, if you're checking your bills once a week, you could technically just go through that whole list. Once you get it down and you have all your, if you're using the info page and you have all your information right there, it's easy just to go down the list, not only to make sure that it's been paid, but also be confirm that it's been paid. That way you won't ever run into any issues and end up getting a charge that maybe you didn't know about. So guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on this because, you know, that is, you know, in our wealth building journey, we want to make sure that little things like that don't happen, because we want to be able to set ourselves up in a position to be able to use leverage when we're ready to start creating wealth, so that we can accelerate it and build that wealth much faster. So guys, I hope that this helped. If you found value in this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. I'll see you in the next one.